always said, have faith in me, you will live, right? I mean, what's live, we questioned. I mean, what's live to you? Play backgammon after work, go to the library, not work, public support, buy off the shelves, work. I mean, if they come into your area, you're going to go to work. Some people get public support, whoever they pick, I mean, it makes some extra. I mean, it was a government corporation. I mean, or the military government or Dow. I mean, you might get $32,000 a year. If you pay, everybody's got to pay. If you join the United States of America, member of the United States of America, do all your paperwork. 20 years, 15%, the minimum wage, 15% taxes. Right? Some people, there's the poor makes more than I do. I'm making impoverished wages. But in '82, we're on top of the world with the inflation. So we said, if you believe me, you will live. So what's living? What is it to you? And then we got all these people that went to college recently, and then how to live your life. That's it. That's a tough situation. Yeah, it might be good for you. It ain't good for me, miss. I got hit with an 18-wheeler truck. Recently, I got hit in the head in a coma for 15 years. They tell me, the doctor. You're supposed to cover that up. Say 15 days. It was he kidding me? And Social Security was sitting right there. And she yelled at me, would you listen to what the doctor said? Well, I see. I got no insurance now. I paid $138 a month premium since 2008. Right? No insurance. I mean, you pay for it anyway. You don't get it for 4 years. How much that hospital charge? It took 7 complete paychecks, 14 grand, and I don't know why. You won't even talk to you. Gainesville Georgia Regional Bank. So what's living? Sometimes you get a raw deal. When I was in prison one time, they put us in there for safety and to force us into the Justice Department program, 3 years group, and go to court and all this different stuff. And I mean, just put something down on a piece of that's a pencil. Where'd you get that from? Did you not come on? Did those congressmen come on that TV and say that the federal laws have been passed? The owners have to maintain the apartments. Well, according to him, do it yourself. You do it yourself, you go to prison. And you go talk to the judge. Not when I come to court. I mean, $50 for the license, $50 registration, $20 for the tax. The tax is unbelievable. The price, I get $20 a day. 32 million people got all the money. It's about $20 a day a person, right? $600 a month. Well, I mean, the price, I can't believe the price increases here in the villages, the retirement community. So I'm 54, I mean, really, my back, slip the disc, they lift me up off my feet. Well, you can't put somebody down, you gotta lay me down. What are you gonna do about it? A shattered right foot, broken toe, dislocated. Dislocated right pinky toe, and dislocated left pinky toe. I was just walking out there, I turned over there, I heard a snap in my phone. That feels better. This is on the ground. I was standing up in the air like that here. Well, according to the doctor, you can't fix it. I mean, that ain't gonna fix, but you can't fix it. You have to have I have Medicare. You got to pay for it every month. Well, the government called me on the phone. We must spend 6 months to straighten that out. Do I got to get Obamacare? According to the flood, no Obamacare. What are you talking about? First of all, they never pay their bills Medicare. How could that be? Did I get this statement that everything's paid? And so from the hospital, then what do you mean they don't pay their bills? 9 years later, after living, I would think people, right? You don't need to know that. So I mean, what's living? He tells you don't have to do what the Father said. Live your life. I mean, it says right here, all guilty. So something about a heaven and all this stuff, I don't think that applies to, believe on me, you will live. I don't think, there's a different, that's a different part of the book, If you said, he will save his life or lose it. He will save his life. Well, how do you save your life? You believe in Jesus Christ. It's a swear word, ain't it? It says over here, but I mean, now listen, I studied for 20 years after that contract was closed, a lot too. People told me to put that down, especially my father, was in the Air Force, a janitor, he since died 12 months ago, but You know, the will and trust, as far as I know, they collect all the assets. It goes back to the taxpayers. But they had gotten out of military contracts a long time ago, went commercial when they had assets to, which they got fired for, right? As far as he was concerned, what are you doing with the bill the president said for it? That's the Democratic Party. It's a Republican. In fact, get out, you know. So they're 27. But he did let me live in a basement of a house for 12 years, you know. No money, no nothing. Well, what do they make? On average, minimum wage. You know, $7. It was $4 the first year. They doubled it the second year. Never did get 12, and if you figure it out in my account, I got $6.35 an hour. I mean, really. Now I'm paying taxes by paying some woman I'm doing Social Security's job. I'm paying taxes to some woman for rent. I had a house. Dad bought it from. It was a research thing for 4 years. For 4 years research over here. And then in the village, you have to bring the house to code. We put $28,000 for code, $28,000 home improvements for furnishings and stuff, and $39,000 for the house. But all that's all that comes out of my paycheck. I mean, right from 16 years old, I took half my change to buy this house. They said unoccupied or something like that. Took it away from us. They sold this whole place to the public. It was the military government and NASA. So I think somewhere else in the scripture he's talking about eternal life. I'm thinking he's talking about as it worked out in the scripture, microbiology in your decay when you die, it goes up into heaven, and we think these antennas and all this different stuff. We were thinking in 92 or 93 when they closed that program and cut our funding off. There was nothing there. So you go, in my case, I went to Boeing and says, no, we're not going to do any market sharing, and unless you have something I don't have already. Well, they had taken the A6 boron ring, and so I said, how do you do that? Well, it would depend on the machine. I mean, the machine's going to, and where's the manual for the machine? That'll tell me how he wants the math entered, or how to do the math, enter the points in it. But that was all our job was. With a calculator and a legal pad, figure out the points. The engineers would put a couple of points out there with a couple of angles, and then connect all figure out the triangles and stuff, and put all the points down, and then write a G code, I's and J, all this different stuff was what the job was. But there was nothing there other than they did say, if you want anything, we had this Microsoft user account. Well, you trust me? You ain't kidding. Well, when I saw the telepathy, that's interesting. I didn't know what it was, but I went home and took the list they gave me. There's nothing you get paid for. As far as they were concerned, you get a public spot. But I didn't get one for 19 years. No public spot. I mean, I paid $152,000 in tax on $352,000 income. Only because the employees quit. When I quit, I didn't quit. Leave of absence. All the people without college educations had to leave the company. You know what I mean? And they were going to do something else, go in a different direction, which was that area. It's a French jet, and it's a metric, which I knew when I was a kid till 7, when we were being trained as carnival circus clowns for the carnival here in this area. I wanted to go to Northeast Regional European music. I had heard it. It was interesting. So they sent me to Gainesville, Georgia. We were making a movie. Right, a short time later, I had all my paperwork done because I picked the United States of America, 20 years work, hard time, 15% taxes, put it into the treasury, which, you got to drive it down there. I mean, they only use it for a loan. Well, we didn't have there was no Internal Revenue Service office. When we got it in there, then I did such a nice job on that thing. Now you can get beaten, trust me, for doing a good job. But that's that industry, And then I don't see anybody else in there. Do you? Do you? I hope I have a beer in the refrigerator. Do I? I kind of too. I'm trying. It's really interesting. Not that I'm 54 years old, and the doctor said 2 to 3 years old. They're putting this up here. This was not what it was 15 years ago, was it? We would have a Google Plus, go pretend like you're a businessman, would never be without a college diploma. It's not a government, military, or down job, and what do you? That's what they could do for you. It's supposed to make a personal app. I'm looking at this, just playing around with it. As a public follower, did I not get my crap kicked out of me last year? So you want to see this body? I mean, and I wasn't doing it. I didn't even know it was on. I didn't even know you could see it. I did advertise for 2 weeks, but it was 2 clicks on it, But, if you're shopping around, Google has said no because of religion, no religion. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting, but I would think, it'll sell. RNA, DNA, what do they say? Is it 100 billion cells in body decomposition, eternal damnation, just bones? You got. I'm gonna tell you. I would think that's what Christ was talking about. Is he laid there for 3 days or 3 days of light? The three forms of light, and some the God of lights, and then probably born again 1,000 different. They probably. That area was telling us they were funded. We were funded. At least our city was funded, and that carried a lot different. Every carrier is all different. It's a different. And if you get born, you couldn't do it. Did you put in for it? I did. Make me a dish towel. Utah was saying to do it out of blood. What that they have in mind. But I tell you, I paid $152,000 in taxes 2 weeks later. It was a psychotic. That's my money. At least in that county. If there's taxes taken out of my check with the computer, go into the government office later on when they had the money for it. How do you figure that's somebody else's? The whole county was broke, no Social Security, nothing. Once the government pulled out, didn't the legislature make an investment? What'd you do? They gave us $1 billion a year, didn't they? They bought 15.6 and 2 to 14.816. What'd you do with the money? They'll Suffolk County, right? I don't know. I would think that how do you get born again? I know what you mean. I know the stand. They told me not off the stand. We got a 5-year-old kid with cancer. What are you, stupid jerk? We just don't understand. I'm sure it is. Yeah. Well, you're not allowed to do what I'm doing. But they'll attack you. Trust me. I come back. That Air Force or something else. Dad died. Every bill, my poor nephew, a kid, I'm not funded no more. I can't get a 30, I can get minimum wage, less the insurances, less the taxes, $800 taxes off of $2,450. They tell me, no, you got to hand them a check. They asked me in the Justice Department program, can we take it out of your check? These guys are funny. You're really funny. And then $800 help a woman out who can't get disability, which whatever. She says you paid $32,000. I paid by March 23rd. I paid $44,000 in rent. Well, if you're going to go live over here, you have to pay $800 a month rent for 24 months, and I did. I've been here about 4 years, almost 4 years. I got nothing. 3 weeks of a month, I got nothing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want any of the song. I wanted a personal album. So it's a lot different. I have to learn it. But we'll get that out of there. We can't be public. What are you doing? Do they have a stand? Do you have to go to college and all that? I can't. We're raised in Florida. We learn metric math. Mike, when I was really young, I was sat in his lap. They were teaching me English math. That's metric. It's going to be an English program. Starts in 9 years. You try out, then you have to go to work, right? I saw it on the TV. He was working all the time. Or trying to. They're building a computer company to print checks for us all. The military goes someplace, well, at least in that area. I don't know what they do now. When they go right in and build a computer company and print everybody a check. Not that it's taking any of your money or anybody else's money. People made terrible mistakes on public support, the hippies, the whole thing. I would get more money. What are you doing here? This is an island did you see the DoD galactic maps of heaven? They're off the satellites. Is that beautiful? Whew, what Christ again. But as far as that goes, heaven and earth. Heaven will be shaking one more time. But this stuff is off the satellites. They're talking about a high-speed train, 400 miles to get to New York from here. 25-hour contract in the aviators. It's 6,666 years. They're the tiles. I forget, unless it's been a long time, and plus you hit me in the head. As long as I'm doing this, but if you're talking to me, you're hurting my brain. I don't mean to not talk. I can't even hear right. When people, you can get clubbed in the head. I was not even at the house for 2 minutes. You clubbed me in the head. Well, what do you think? I would think, it's probably a basic science today that isn't Christ the science? Cyber Philip, it was talking about evolution there. Peter went to Rome, and Mark Coptic Church in Alexandria, right? Which I think is evolution. I was trying to read up on it, but I would think you're supposed to be a Jew then to a Hebrew. The animal kingdom, right? Or at least in the Americas, evolution. I hope they have a Southeast region. Do we have any money left? The last I remember before, I thought I was sitting at the table. I heard somebody running at me at the computer. I turned my head because I had a home studio, but Citrus County told me to get rid of it. You're not in a retirement group, no work, no nothing. Do you have a guaranteed check, right? Yeah, when I first got here, I went to the hospital. He checked me in for a month. He gave me all the paperwork, bring the house to code, the 28,000, 39 for the house. Everything checked in. So I started, and they told me 4 months. It was 4 years because I was trying to set up a home theater. When we all supposed to have a home theater, most of it was they told us in the Justice Department program. I mean, I got the least expensive Dollar General job, $510. It took me 4 years to get it. You allowed to do that? They didn't tell you, wait a minute, 1/3 says this, 1/3 says that, 1/3 says, would you stop? We worked for 20 years, cops and teacher deal, with minimum wage. What else do you want? You paying $2, $3 for gasoline? They told us it would be 9 or 13 if we don't get involved with this thing in the Northeast. I don't know. There's no point. There's nothing you can do, can you? No. Right. So you just collect all your assets. I don't have any. Well, yeah, it was $8,000 of a gun, refrigerator gone, oven gone. This is hysterical. I'm in the middle of bringing the house to code. I got bit by a snake. My foot's like this now. You know what I mean? What a mess. Good thing that the safety guy was the day over at the Dollar General. I don't have to say that. No, he ain't. But this is not supposed to be online. I won't work on a day into just to learn it. I want to have the photos, the video, just to knock around some. Do you have yours? The home theater system? This is really nice. I got the $10 transistors, the CD player. It's all out, right? The Sylvania, and plug it in the back of the set. I didn't, Minuteman bought that. Was $148. What was it called? The TCL Roku? Well, I played around with it before. There's nothing to do. I'm not allowed to go out with contagious diseases, one day they put me over here, but one neighbor, he has a contagious disease too. I tell you, he comes over and shakes, I'll tell you, my hands are cracking like, he's got feet like this, the guy. Poor guy. He's a couple of years older than me. But just the two of them. Actually, this whole rectangle here was for people, but they died already, They said 2 to 3 years because of finance, you can't pay for the medical help you need. But besides that, for what you have, there is none. You know what I mean? Well, shit. He said it's 4 years. It'll be 4 years. You never do know.